Okay, where were we? We were talking about the morning of the proposal.
Wait, can we start over?
Yeah, for sure.
I forgot my ring.
Oh yeah, that's probably a good thing. Hello, welcome. I was gonna say welcome back, but welcome to the first time to our channel. I'm Chandler.
I'm Lucy.
This is the Lu&Chan channel, and we thought a good introduction to this YouTube channel would be explaining a little bit of our story and how we got engaged.
So, how did we meet?
Lucy was my tour guide. We both went to TCU, and she bought me Chick-fil-A that day.
We were friends on Facebook and answered his questions and came to TCU, but we didn't start dating until my senior year and his junior year.
Yes.
So then after TCU, I moved to New York, and then he moved to New York after he graduated as well. And then the pandemic hit 7 months into him being in New York. So we thought, for a couple weeks, we'll go to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where he's from, with his family, and stay there. Ended up being almost 5 months that we were with them, and that's actually where we ended up getting engaged. So that leads us to May 16th, the day we got engaged.
Let's start the day before, because we had been doing date nights like once a week during the pandemic, just to like keep things spicy. Thank you. Well, everyone's on lockdown, so that was pretty much just like ordering takeout and eating it outside once a week. But it was fun. It was a nice sentiment. And the night before, I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna have like our date night. How about we actually do like a date day or something? I was trying to make it like super nonchalant, like I had no plans whatsoever. So I was like asking her what she wanted to do, but being like, I don't know if I want to do that. Eventually I was just like, you know what, let's decide tomorrow, like what sounds enjoyable. Meanwhile, I've got like the whole plan of the day in my head.
So I told him every time we'd go on a date that I would paint my nails, do my makeup, put on at least not leggings, and like jeans or a dress or something, just to make it feel like dressed up that way. He planted so many seeds of doubt though. He went ring shopping pretty like early on and made it seem like it was going to be forever because the pandemic, that they'd be able to get this ring made. And so I just didn't ask any more questions because he just seemed distraught about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't imagine, that's gotta be so sad.
And there were some slight hiccups along the way, but I was making everything sound really, really dramatic.
The day before the engagement, I did not expect a single thing. I thought we were just gonna like do something else. So
the morning of our engagement, I decided that we were gonna do a workout class, and Lucy loves to work out. I like to work out. I particularly love working out by myself. Lucy loves working with a buddy. So I had decided that we were gonna do like this hour-long class because I knew it would excite her, and then also it would get her really sweaty so that she would actually have to change and like shower that day.
Wash my hair.
So
I was so pumped when you wanted to do that class with me. It was the best day ever.
And it was like a good excuse to get out of your sweatpants after the fact.
Yeah.
Because typically we had done these like date nights. And I was proposing midday, so I was like, I need to do something
early in the day to get us going.
We went to our favorite little coffee shop. Do you want to explain this part of it?
Yeah. So this is where Chandler's genius. He's so good at acting and like just making it so covert. He would make everything the date seem like it was my idea. So he would like give the option that he knew I would pick, which is obviously what the plan was, and then give kind of a worse option, but like he made it feel like I was picking. So he was like, oh, do you want to go to Cirque Coffee or this other place? And obviously Cirque is like my favorite place because it's actually where he like first told me he wanted to marry me, like back when we kind of had like gotten to that point in our relationship and we just started dreaming out the future together. So it's a very special place to us. So he knew I would pick that. And so I was like, oh great, this is my idea. Like it felt like I was kind of planning the day. And it was supposed to rain all day that day.
Oh yeah.
It was 100% chance of rain.
Yeah, like the whole day. And I don't think it
It didn't rain a drop.
Rain a drop that whole day. Then after we got coffee, we were just like taking some photos downtown. We were really just wasting time because we had some friends coming in town and they were also setting up this really nice dinner in our backyard. Then we went to the park.
Yeah.
And we're just strolling. I had brought like my backpack with me because I was like, maybe we'll like
sit on a blanket
or something. But we ended up finding this bench that I'd already planned on us sitting at.
Oh my gosh. We were walking around the park and I was like, where should we sit? And he was like, oh, I think there's like a really pretty flower place over there. And I was like, okay. So we kept walking and then there were like all these benches. And he was like, pick a bench, any bench. But then like walked towards the one he wanted me to sit on. But I didn't even notice. But again, made it feel like it was my idea, not like, let's sit on that one. Yeah. And so, genius.
My friend is a photographer, Carter Link, and he was like hiding behind a bush. So he knew where we would be sitting. Yeah. So I had to sit somewhere specific.
Yeah.
We got to the bench and we started, eating our cookies. We brought some liqueurs. Oh no, the coffee we had, I think.
Yeah. Chandler was shaking, so he couldn't finish his cookie. The most uncharacteristic thing that day.
Yeah, it's really uncharacteristic. I love cookies. So my hands are like trying to eat this cookie, but like I don't want to make it obvious. So like I take one bite and I just like chew it super quickly, swallow. I'm just so incredibly nervous. And I had got this book for Lucy. It's a photo album, and we have it here. So let's show it. So this photo album I gave Lucy, and it actually has photos of all of like from the start of us dating to
first photo together.
Yeah, first photo together.
The first time when he visited my hometown.
Yeah. So there's some cute photos in here, but it's from like the start of us dating to the end of us dating. And at the very back of the book, I put a little card. And then the card pretty much explains what this last really creepy photo is. This is about to get raw. We're gonna tell them.
Not this photo. Clarify that's not the creepy photo.
This is not the creepy
that's
photo.
A beautiful photo.
I hope you don't think this one's creepy. This photo right there is the photo I'm referring to. And it's actually the night that we fell in love, or at least what I would say is the night that I fell in love with you. So
first time he visited New York.
Yeah, it was the first time I had visited New York, and we went to the speakeasy. We're just talking about our dreams and aspirations in life, enjoying some crazy jazz music
it was
too.
So fun.
It was so cool. What's the name of that place?
Little Branch.
Little Branch. If you're in New York, you gotta go to Little Branch.
So amazing. So yeah, in the note, it was just like explaining how that was the day that he had fallen in love with me. And because I had not recognized that photo. I didn't know there were any photos from that night. One thing for Chandler and I is we had decided we were going to wait till we got engaged to say I love you. Even though we had felt it, we were like, saying I love you once we're engaged for us meant that like with every part of me, including like my commitment, I love you, not just my feelings and my emotions, which are I guess the same thing. Also, Chandler had told me the week before or 2 weeks before, he was like, oh man, like I know gifts are your love language and I haven't gotten you a gift in a while. Like I'm gonna get you a gift soon. I was like, no, Chandler, you don't need to do that. So he'd already prefaced. So when I was looking through this book, I still was not expecting what was happening, which he thought surely like I would know.
Yeah.
When I was getting like a really, really intentional
because I pretty much said that I loved her in the card, which was like unusual for me to say. And then she just like keeps flipping through the book. Though.
So I just started it over and was
she's
just
like, oh, this is like such a sweet gift. I'm trying to get this book out of her hands to like stand her up, but I'm like also like trying to let her have her moment. Until eventually I was like, okay, done with the book. And put it in my backpack. And then I stood her up and I was like, I have one more gift actually.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I think your heart started racing.
Oh yeah. The world slowed down and I was so shocked because I didn't know until the literal moment he was on his knee.
There was no one around.
No one.
It was like one of those really like damp days where like
super humid.
It's like all felt so like mystical and
oh my gosh, yeah. We both just like sat on the ground. We'll show some photos of that.
Yeah.
After we got engaged.
Photo.
Yeah. We sat on the ground because we just like were waiting for it to hit us. We were just like, we're engaged. So my family couldn't come. We're still like in the middle of COVID, and they could not fly out. And so walked back to the car, and our friends, who I didn't know that my friends were there at the time, and they had decorated the car we were driving in. We'll show you a picture of this. They had decorated the car that we were driving in with like the fathead things.
That you use at like sporting events and stuff.
Of my family.
And your dog.
And my dog. And it had some champagne. And then on the hood of the car, there were like 20 letters from all of my best friends. And Chandler had reached out to all of them and had them send letters. And oh my gosh, I was wrecked because words mean so much to me. And so then we got back in the car. I called my family on the way home. I was stoked. Literally on the way home, I was like, I'm so excited because like his parents had told us we were going to get these great salads that night from this one restaurant. So I was like, Chan, I'm so excited to have salads. And Chandler was like, why did she think
that we're going to get salads?
Going to get salads.
I have nothing against salads. But,
no, it was just so specific. And then when I showed up, his brother and his brother's now fiance were there, and my 2 best girlfriends and 2 of his best guy friends, all of whom are getting married next month actually. So they weren't engaged then, but now they are. Yeah, it was just so beautiful and wonderful. And then we went into the backyard and there was this whole tablescape set up by his mom. It was amazing. Yeah. It was the most wonderful day.
That was my favorite part of the whole day. We just had dinner. My family just made, I think we had salmon. Yeah. We just did some salmon, and then like my brother like served us like a waiter, and
it was so fun.
It was so nice and dreamy, and
also because you had been stressed the whole day, like sit down and breathe and enjoy it.
It's so much relief once like you propose, at least that day. You're just so excited, and you've been like, you're honestly like tired at that point because you're like, wow, it's been like a long day. Yeah. Keeping a secret, being so nervous.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine.
It was great.
It was the best. Oh, that was like the most incredible day.
It was so sweet. I loved it. It was fun to relive. I like that.
I know.
But now we're married. Story to come. Next week? The week following?
Yeah,
one of those.
Next week we will be sharing stuff from our wedding. Maybe even our wedding video. So stay tuned for that. We wanted you to get to know us a little bit more, but we're so excited. But the next few videos will be a little more getting to know us, and we can't wait.
Yes. To be continued.
To be continued.